Hello, Elite Marketing Pro. My name is Marinda. I'm here today live for 15 minutes of inspiration, motivation, and education to start your day just right. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Marinda from South Africa, and I've been a coach with Elite Marketing Pro for the last 2 years. So today I wanted to jump into something that I see fairly often as a coach in this community, and obviously outside of this arena as well. We work with a lot of network marketers, home-based business owners, and people that are generally looking for solutions online, people who want to get going on this entrepreneurial journey online. So as you guys are hopping on, please comment where you're from, and I'd like to give you a shout out and just say hi. I see Duff is on, Jenny is on, Lane is on, Cindy, Adrian, Lindeen, Matty is on. Hey, you guys, great seeing you here. King, Billy, absolutely, it's great having you here. So I want to dive right into it. So what is shiny object? Because we often hear about it, we often see other people do it, but we are very reluctant to admit that sometimes we struggle with some of the same symptoms. So I want to go into a little bit about what is it that is so, I almost want to use the word sickening. Because it is something that acts like a disease. It's a disease of distraction. So when we talk about the shiny object syndrome, it's a distraction. So in a distraction, unfortunately, in the realm where we work as entrepreneurs, it gets very seldom detected early enough, because entrepreneurs are normally very motivated. So they crave new technology, they crave new developments. And as an entrepreneur, we're not scared to start new projects and to create new things. But the question is, how often do we finish them? Because if the answer is that we just start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, and we never finish something, then there might be something that needs to be tweaked and changed that we can become more effective. So if you are let me say it like this. So the shiny object syndrome will always force you to chase after another project, to chase after a new product that you want to buy. It's change after change after change, and never settling with one option, never mastering one option. So it's like when you get to that new product that you thought, this is the one, this is going to create everything I wanted, this will be the game changer for me. The minute you get that, it's a fact of a situation where you just lose your interest straight away, and you start chasing for the next one. Now, is it good to stay abreast and updated in your industry? Absolutely. But when you get constantly attracted to something else, a chance to become, the next best thing, you never get the chance to become great at something, because you will always start climbing the learning curve of the new thing you change, and then you stop that, then you start the new thing. So you're forever in this initial phase, which is not really nice, if we're honest, because that's where you learn the most, that's where your skill set is the lowest, but you never get to a point where you actually master something. So I just want to quickly see who's on here. So how many of you have had situations where it's like, yeah, I stepped right into that, and I definitely bought stuff that I thought this is going to be the answer to a problem or a pain that you had, and it turned out to be just another course on your shelf in your study, or it's just something that you saw, was just it was not an investment, it was definitely just the cost. So I see Jenny on here, I see Rebecca on here, Dan says yes. So how many of you have actually stepped in that trap where you kept buying solutions thinking this would be the difference, but you never invested the time to actually went through that course and actually mastering it? All right, so I can definitely put my hand up. Before I crossed paths with Elite Marketing Pro, I invested in 2-3 things that I thought, this would maybe give me the solution to work online, which turned out I didn't even follow through with those courses until I met with my mentors in Elite Marketing Pro, and I started working systematically on a roadmap with a mentor to get the results that I wanted to get. So I see, yeah, me, I don't do it all the time. Sean says, yes, me. A lot of honest people. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it, because we need to understand where we're at in order to make a decision, to make to get an interrupt that we can make a change. So what are typical signs that you are after shiny objects? Because there's still some of us out there that says, no, it's definitely not me. I've got this thing going. So if you are unable to finish things. You're excited about every new thing that comes across your newsfeed. There's maybe a sign. So if you are burning through cash because you keep buying loose entity products, thinking that it will give you the solution to what it is you want to do. If your team is starting to get confused because they don't know what they're going to follow, are they going to follow this direction this week, or are we going to do something new next week? Here's the thing, after being in this industry for more than 14 years, clarity brings a sense of urgency, and with a sense of urgency, you get momentum. And that's what any network marketer longs for, craves for, is duplication and momentum. Now, until your team has clarity as to what is the way forward, it will always be like they're treading in peanut butter. So if you are confusing your team with different strategies every single week, it's definitely a sign of shiny object. So if you jump from one internet course to the other one, that's definitely a sign that there's a little bit of a tendency towards a shiny object. So one goal to the next without sticking to it and finishing and completing that thing. Keep registering new domain names, launching new websites, hopping from one network marketing opportunity to the next. You have a collection of plugins and tools, but you don't use them. You never get things done, and you spend too much time on new ideas, but at the end, you actually feel a lot more frustrated than you felt before you made the purchase. How many of you could relate to those emotions and some of the points that I've just described right now? Because here's the thing, unless and until you and I take one piece of training and we work under guidance with a mentor and you implement the strategies that are taught, you will never master that particular skill set, because there is a difference between the tools, the mentorship, between an apprentice versus a professional, going on to being an expert in something, and ultimately being a master at something. If you and I start from scratch every time from the bottom and never invest the time to master every piece of the skill set that is required, you will find yourself in the apprentice level in any business, not just here, anywhere in life. You will start at and keep being stuck at apprentice because the skill set never gets mastered. So obviously, I'm not going to leave you here feeling like, oh my goodness, I've got shiny object syndrome. How the heck do I get out of it? So first of all, the first investment always becomes an investment in yourself. What do you need to learn? What mentorship can you partake in that can help you to set clear, defined goals, to have a strategy? How do we brainstorm 12 months of a game plan, reverse engineer that, breaking it down into monthly goals and then weekly goals that you can track? Because if you have short-term goals, it helps you to close that gap, that you can stay focused. And your team needs that. They need a leader that can stay focused. Do some research. Speak to people that are where you want to be. If you want to have a multiple six-figure income online, you have such a privilege in this community that you have a leaderboard where there's 20, 25 people on that leaderboard that are crushing it in terms of generating leads, in generating income. If they are where you want to be, those are the people you want to speak to, not someone who has never had any success in that. It's like, you want to become a doctor, but now you shadow someone who's not in the medical field, and you shadow someone who's, an engineer. That just doesn't make sense. You need to spend time in a community and with a mentor that is where you want to be. So slow down, set goals, master each skill set one at a time. And here's something that I still am working on this piece myself personally, and that is to have small goals that has a reward attached to it. We cannot just work like animals and like machines for 12 months without any reward. Celebrate the small wins in between, because that keeps you aligned and it keeps you in the game, because there has to be fun in it, all right? So let me quickly see, how many of you done it too many times? Yeah, Billy, I'm set on mastering what I'm doing at the workshop. Absolutely, Billy, I can see that. Hello, Valentine, great to see you. Oh, I love it when you guys are so engaged. Duplication and momentum, for sure. It's an eye-opener, for sure. Be there, done it. Oh, yeah, I think we all have gotten the T-shirt. Service level versus deeper, for sure. Time to move from apprentice to master. Yes, Jenny, you can do it. So I want to leave you with 7 tips Small, easy tips to avoid shiny object. How many of you would find it valuable if I can just leave you with a couple of small things that you can be aware of, that when you get into that stage where something comes across your news feed or something pops into your inbox, that you can straight away be aware, hang on, this is something that's going to deter from my goal, and I need to be focused on what I'm doing right now. How many of you will find that valuable? So you can just give me a hands up or a thumbs up that I know you will find that valuable. So 7 tips for you to avoid shiny object syndrome. New does not mean better. So, and by that I don't mean ignoring every new thing. Keeping in touch with and staying abreast of your profession, absolutely, that's great. But if you waste your time chasing trends rather than getting things done, that is what I mean by new doesn't necessarily mean better. Learn to see past the hype, especially on social media, because people would very often like to show things more flashy, bigger, and better than what it normally is. Out of the 14 years experience, here's what I can share with you that I've experienced personally and that I've experienced in more than 1,200 clients that I've coached. We always overestimate someone else's business and what they've achieved, and we always underestimate what we've done. So comparing with other people, dangerous, dangerous ground. You run your own race, you stay in your lane. So learn to see past that hype. Constantly new shiny objects in the online world, for sure. There's new products, there's new services, there's new coaching this, new program this, try this. And it creates this raging fear of missing out. But maybe it's not good for you right now where you're at. It's not to say that it might not be good 3 or 4 months from now or effective for you, but maybe right now it's not the most effective strategy. So new does not mean better. Number 2, assess your life. Where are you in your life and in your business? What are your current working hours? What are you currently spending on family? Where does your faith come in? How much time do you have to invest in a new business? If you are busy with a business right now and you want to add multiples on it, what would be the most effective way for you moving forward right now? Is that really what you need? Will it add value to your business and to your life right now? What are the pros and cons in doing that right now? Point number 3, what is your signal to noise ratio? Because it's not just about discipline. It's by managing the source where the distraction comes from. What do I mean by that? How many groups are you part of? How many newsletters are you subscribing to? So if you guys have fallen prey to this, please comment, yeah, I'm prey to this. How many new products and offerings have you opted into and now you receive their emails? Email after email after email. A word that I will never forget what Brandy shared with me personally was research a few people online, select the 2 that you are feeling you are most in touch with, that is congruent to you, your story, who you like to be associated with, and unfollow the rest. And you keep a close eye on 2 of them. But if you have 10 people you follow online, you've subscribed to 10 newsletters, they will send stuff that will distract you from where you currently are at. So what is that noise ratio? And it's by managing the source of that distraction. The next point, evaluate your social media newsfeed. How many Facebook groups are you in? Check your email subscriptions. The next point, switching costs, new tools. Here's the thing. When you are in the initiation phase of every single new thing that you currently are in, you will always add more cost. It's not an investment. It's only an investment when you implement it and there's a reward. And in other words, a return on investment. That's when it becomes an investment. It's when there's a return on that investment. Otherwise, it's just the cost. So if your current tool cannot provide something, then it's worth looking into it. Otherwise, it's just the cost. The next point, what is the mental cost about changing your focus? Because you are so busy with trying new stuff and learning new things without ever getting past the apprentice phase that you get nothing done. I want to share with you something that a friend of mine, it's actually my partner who shared it with me. When in doubt, don't. And I cannot share with you on a personal level, business level, on on every single level of my personal life as well as my professional life, I've learned to use that as just a sounding board for me to slow down. When I have that little voice that tells me, are you sure? Just double check. When in doubt, don't. Take 24 hours and make a decision. Will it move you forward, or do we need to interrupt that and make a change and get back onto the track that you currently are in? Keep an eye out for real opportunities, because a real opportunity gives you an ecosystem. What do we offer our students in this community? A plug-in system that is plug and play. It is a full house system. You do not need different loose standing entities to help you build your business online. Everything is here and it's an ecosystem. It works. It is integrated with each other, and it is geared towards duplication and a very reliable success ratio, because it's a roadmap and it gives you implementation steps. So I hope today has really helped you, that you can just become a little bit more aware of certain things that we habitually have learned over the past years, some of us decades in this industry, where we just keep looking for the next best thing. And I hope that today has made you aware that stay your course, make sure that you know where you're going, make sure that you've got a mentor that's invested in you and your success, and make sure that you are staying the course and not get distracted with a lot of noise and a lot of hype out there. You are at the right time, at the right place right now, and we are super happy to have you here. So I quickly want to check the comments before I say goodbye. Very valuable. Sarah is on, Sean is on, Jennifer is on. One new is not better. Yep, absolutely. The original sin of entrepreneurship. Yeah, faster right now. I love your comments. Keep the comments going. If you found value, tag some of your friends in here. And I'm looking forward to spending some time with you again 2 weeks from now. And remember, every single day, same time, same place, 1 p.m. Eastern, for your 15 minutes of education, inspiration, and motivation. Have a super rest of your week and be blessed.